Welcome to my channel, Stairway to Devin. I'm Devin Marvell. Even if you just accidentally stumbled upon me, thank you so much just for clicking that button. And if you're staying tuned, please make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Usually, if you're familiar with my videos, and I'm usually in my dining room at the table. I decided today I wanted to be a little bit more intimate. Yes, so I brought you guys into my living room. So come on in, get comfortable. I got a seat right here for you. Let's get to why we are here. Can we talk about this whole trans fiasco phenomenon that's going on all of a sudden? All of a sudden, Americans are pretending like, trans? What is this? I don't know. I've never heard of trans people before in my life. Huh? This is so new to me, millennials. When did you guys come up with this? And it's like, but okay. So, for the past year or so, the conversation surrounding gender identity and trans people has been booming. We've seen a lot more trans visibility in news and media. Whoop whoop, which is a great thing. We've had people like Janet Mock and Laverne Cox, Chaz Bono, really being like front and center. So we've had a lot of more trans visibility in the news and media. We've also, had the bad part where we've heard a lot about more and more murders happening against trans women. And that was, oh my gosh, I heard it was like every week I was hearing about a trans woman being murdered last year. So that's a conversation that we definitely need to be having a lot more of. In addition to that, the gender spectrum is now a spectrum. It's not just boy and girl anymore. We have a whole spectrum of genders. Of people who just identify in different ways. They might not identify as a boy, they might not identify as a girl, they may identify a little something in between, and now there's a name for it. Or they may not identify with gender identity at all, and then there's a name for that. As we progress and evolve as human beings, times change. It's just one of those things where it is what it is. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. Well, I mean, in this case, I feel like it's a good thing, but of course, there are people who will beg to differ, because as we as humans grow and we evolve and we progress, there are those people who can't, or just won't, rather. You have like your conservative people who have gone out of their way to discriminate against trans people, because discriminating against gays isn't as easy as it was now that same-sex marriage has been legalized and now that we have marriage equality. So they kind of had to move on and find the next thing to harp on. So they picked trans people. And, now they have this sudden concern of who's going to the bathroom where, what's in between people's legs all of a sudden. In addition to that, you've got your closed-minded folk who believe that gender identity is just limited to your genitalia. Either you're a boy or a girl, anything outside of that is just, blah, 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 I don't want to hear it type of thing. Some will even go as far as to be disrespectful and mislabel you, misgender you, if you are visibly trans. In the beginning of last year, we saw North Carolina was trying to pass a bill, which I believe did get passed, where you have to go to the bathroom that matches the gender that you were assigned at birth. And this is, there's a loophole when it comes to transgender people, because, if you are post-op, which means that you've had the operation to fully transition, then, you are able, as far as I know, everywhere to obtain a new birth certificate to match your current gender identity. So this really attacks pre-op trans people who can't afford or have not gotten the full surgery yet. And it also targets, those who, even if they are trans, cannot hide that fact. They can't pass, per se, as a male or a female all the way. Now, in addition to North Carolina start kind of rolling the ball and setting this whole thing going, you had other states that joined in. States such as South Dakota, which their bill got vetoed. Tennessee has one that's in progress. Texas has one in progress. Virginia's, that one got killed. Washington and Wisconsin. Now, the other issue with these bills, besides being just downright discriminatory, is that they also have clauses in them that overturn anti-LGBT discrimination laws. Some of these bills, they have also sought out to prosecute the people that violate these laws. For example, the bill in Texas sought to prosecute those who violate the bathroom laws. And if a woman, for example, if a trans woman that is, visibly trans goes into the women's restroom, as she should, and a woman gets offended by her presence in the restroom, she can sue this person, I believe, up to $2,000. Now that bill, they axed that version of it, but then they brought a new one to try to pass it. But it's absolutely ridiculous. Rumblings from the right seem to begin after Caitlyn Jenner came out as Caitlyn Jenner. And that kind of really sparked the conversation between everybody about this. And Republicans kind of used Caitlyn Jenner as a platform to start this whole anti-trans movement. They started painting trans women as men playing dress up and started trying to spark this random fear in people that men are going to dress up in women's clothes and go into the women's bathrooms if we allow trans people to use the bathroom that matches their gender identity. And mind you, they did this without having one case, okay? Without having one case to go off of in the history of America, okay? In the history of trans people, this has never been an issue. Before 2015, this was never an issue, okay? We weren't talking about this. People in Congress and, in politics weren't talking about this. This is not an issue because trans people have been using whichever bathroom matches their identity since the beginning of time. This is not a new concept, but the Republicans came out and made it a problem. So now it's a problem, and now it started making people think, well, I don't want some man dressing up as a woman saying I'm trans going into the bathroom with my daughter or my wife or whatever the case may be. But it's like, this isn't an issue. It's never happened. And even if it did happen, the problem isn't trans people and where they're using the bathroom. The problem is perverted people who would abuse this. Like, I just want to keep reiterating that this never ever has happened. And it's still not happening. Trans/third gender people have been around since they go as far back to ancient Asia and ancient Greece. That's how long the concept of transgender or third gender has been around. It can be found in just about every single culture. Different gender identities, yeah, that might be a newer concept, but still, it's not a big freaking deal. Transgender people are woven into American history. They have been a part of history dating all the way back to the Civil War, dating all the way back. If you do your research, Stonewall. Trans people are a part of America. Always have been, always will be. It wasn't until 2013 when we saw the first case of a trans person fighting, for their right as far as the restroom. And that was a girl by the name of Coy Mathis, a trans girl who lives in Colorado, who, had to go to court for her right to use the girls' restroom at her school. I just feel like people really fell for the fear tactic of the Republican Party. People began choosing sides in this whole bathroom debate because the North Carolina bathroom bill caused a lot of controversy. People were protesting it. You had celebrities who were like, well, we're not going to go to North Carolina. Businesses were pulling out of North Carolina, all kinds of stuff. It kind of got so riled up in the country surrounding this issue that President Barack Obama and the Obama administration came out and felt like they had to issue a guidance to schools, directing public schools to allow trans students to use the bathrooms matching their gender identity. Obama also made sure that trans people were protected under federal law, Title IX, which covers people being protected for race and gender and sexual orientation. And he said, hey, trans people fit into that too. Republicans were pissed about it. I mean, Ted Cruz went as far as to compare trans people to pedophiles. And this is something that extremist people continue to do. Whether they do it for gay people as well. They compare gay people to pedophiles to try to spark that fear that your children are in danger if, you know, gay people are accepted, and if trans people are accepted, then your children are going to be in danger. And that's just not the case. It's just not. And in an effort to undo anything that is Obama related, any progress has been made in this country, which is Trump's entire goal, the Trump administration on Wednesday decided to revoke that guidance that Obama had laid out. Now, to the LGBT Trump supporters, this may come as a surprise. Caitlyn Jenner was a Trump supporter and went to, you know, Trump Towers and was like, I'm going into the women's restroom. Look at me. You know, Trump even, they had an interview where they asked him, hey, so can Caitlyn Jenner, you know, use the women's bathroom in Trump Towers? And he was like, sure, Caitlyn can use whatever bathroom as she wants. And, you know, if you're an LGBT Trump supporter, which is, you know, an oxymoron in itself. Also surprised because he paraded around the rainbow flag that said LGBT for Trump, as on his arm, as his running mate, he had a super anti-LGBT candidate, you know? So it's like, I don't know what you guys were really expecting here. I mean, the vice president believes in conversion therapy. Conversion therapy, y'all. What did you think? Did you think that this administration really was going to have LGBT rights at the forefront of their mind? Did you really think that they cared? I mean, come on. Come on. You know, in addition to the stupidity that's just been coming from the White House, there's been a video floating around of some pompous jerk standing behind a podium, and he's debating with some young lady who obviously is not equipped enough to have this kind of back and forth with this person, but she's very passionate about this issue. And they're debating about being trans, and he's like, oh, that's not a thing, and, you know, you either have a penis or you have a vagina. You know, at one point she was like, well, where does it say that you have to be a natural born boy to be a Boy Scout? And he was like, in the word Boy Scouts. And everybody's like, woo, you know, cheering him on, just because she didn't have the right tools to be able to combat him. And then he did the thing that a lot of anti-trans people do, which is over-exaggerate, saying, well, I can't just wake up one day and say I'm a horse, you know, as if anybody is out here saying that I'm trans freaking animal. Who is out here saying, you know, I know that I'm a human, but I really identify as a platypus. So if you would please call me the proper platypus pronouns. Nobody is saying that. What are you even talking about? People are just saying that they are human beings. They identify as human beings, whether that fits into your heteronormative society or not. That has nothing to do with them. That has everything to do with your closed-mindedness. But don't try to sit here and act like these people are doing something that is just so unheard of, because again, trans is not new. It's not new. This didn't just happen overnight, people. Like, stop it. Stop acting blatantly dumb. You know, the video is being shared around saying, oh, guy destroys trans, or guy destroys liberals. First of all, when you debate somebody, when you are presenting an argument, the purpose should be to inform or to, you know, be able to persuade them. It shouldn't be, oh, I'm gonna get up here and just completely destroy their entire way of thinking. No, that's idiotic. That doesn't do anything for anybody. That doesn't help us progress in this conversation. You're not bringing anything to the table. People that are anti-trans, I just continue to find, or even just anti, you know, extra genders or whatever, I continue to find that they don't even bother to do their research to see, what is it that these people are talking about? Why did they come up with this? Why do they feel this way? You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't ever do any research about the other side, but they're quick to say, nah, it's just boy and girl. It's just penis and vagina. But it's like, if you would do research, maybe you would be able to understand a little bit more where people are coming from with this. And even as a member of the LGBT community, look, LGBT is just the short version of it, okay? LGBT. But the real acronym is like LGBTQIA LMNOPQRSTU ##. Like, it's a lot. There's a lot of identities within the gay community, and I find myself not knowing about all of them. or not being able to identify with maybe the ones that I should identify with. And, you know, even with the whole trans thing, I still don't understand it completely. You know, I'm learning every day when it comes to gender and, you know, trans identity. I'm learning every day and I'm doing my research actively, trying to learn. But there are definitely bits and pieces that make my brain go, okay, this isn't computing right, but at the end of the day, who cares? Who freaking cares? It's none of my business, and it's none of your business. No, because I'm not trans or struggling with my gender identity. So it has nothing to do with me personally. It does not matter how I personally feel about being transgender or being a different gender outside of being a boy or a girl. It doesn't matter because that has nothing to do with me. Do you know what my role is? My role as a human being is to just be supportive. It's to support my fellow human in their journey of self-discovery. That's what my role is. And to educate myself about their journey so that I don't come off sounding like an idiot when talking about these things. That's what my role is. It's not to condemn them. No, it's not to tell them that their feelings aren't valid. No, my role is to just show support. And if somebody is doing something that isn't harmful to themselves or others, then who cares? I'm still gonna be able to go to sleep at night. I'm still gonna be able to live my life and keep it moving. If you, I don't give a damn if you identify as a chicken nugget and you want me to address you as a McNugget, I will do that because it doesn't take anything away from me or my life. If you cannot have enough human decency and respect to do this and to respect people's pronouns and what they identify as, you need to check in with yourself and ask, why am I so selfish that outside of my bubble, I just can't accept anything else? And I hope that one day you realize that there's so much more to this world and so much more to this life than black and white, gay and straight, and, you know, human and animal. There's so much in between, you know, that people feel and deal with. And just because you are lucky enough to fit right into a heteronormative society and, you know, play your role and you can just fit right in there. Not everybody has that privilege. Yes, that word, privilege, okay? Because it is a privilege. It is a privilege to be heterosexual in the society and not have to be persecuted for things beyond your control. Just try to find compassion in yourself, you know, to sympathize with people. And if you can't, then just shut up. Just shut up and stay wrapped in your bubble, you know, opposed to questioning others' humanities or invalidating their experiences. Especially if you are a person of color. Because in the black community, I'm gonna just keep it 100, and this is something I definitely want to explore a lot more in a separate project. But especially in the black community, homophobia is so strong. It's so strong and so deep. It just always baffles me because I'm like, if anybody should be able to identify with another person's struggle, especially the struggle of being verbally and physically assaulted for something beyond your control, being openly discriminated against, having laws aimed to discriminate against you, it should be us. It should be us. We should be able to identify, if nobody else, with this. Because guess what? I know you're saying, it's not the same thing. I can't help my skin color. It's the same thing. Prejudice is prejudice. Discrimination is discrimination. And you sitting here saying, oh, that he, she, or that, whatever, ooh, trans is this and trans is that. You are on the same playing field, you are on the same level as that racist over there who doesn't want you to have your rights, who is calling you this, that, and the third. You are the exact same person. You just have different prejudice. That's the only difference. Theirs is against skin colors, and yours is against sexuality. At the end of the day, however you feel about trans people, it doesn't matter because it's none of your trans business. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm glad that I was able to get this off my chest with you guys. Make sure, again, that you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Stairway to Devin. That's Devin with a DEVIN. EN, and check out my blog, stairwaytodevin.wordpress.com. Also, every Wednesday, I do a live show on Periscope, so check that out and follow at volume_TV. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And thank you for being a friend. Bye.